Hello and welcome to Silent No More radio show and podcast with Dr. Monica. I am Dr. Monica, the host of this wonderful, nationally syndicated, I'm just speaking that into existence, radio show and podcast. So I'm so excited that each of you decided to tune in. And you know what? I think I'm actually live. I will see this later, I think. I'm supposed to be recording, but anyway, we're gonna go with it. We're gonna go with the flow on tonight. Anyway, I appreciate you all for tuning in, and I'm really thankful that you took the chance, you took the opportunity, you took your space to come over here to figure out how to speak up and get healthy. Speak up and get healthy. So we have a wonderful guest today who's going to talk about her journey going from unhealthy to fit. But before we discuss that, I need to talk to you all about something else. The last couple of weeks, we've had some dynamic shows. A couple of weeks ago, I had my girls, the Get Back Girls, on, and they talked about how we met. They talked about our journey together, how we encourage each other, how we empower each other to be our best selves. And they also talked about our launch, which was 8 years ago. And so the guest that we have today is going to talk about how we met 8 years ago at the Get Back Girls launch. Isn't that crazy? She was one of our guest speakers because she was actually on, I believe it was the Today Show, or it was some national news outlet, talking about her journey when she was running a marathon and how that came about and how that actually catapulted her into being a figure, a local figure on getting healthy. And I mean, she's been famous. She's been all over the place, actually. But I met her at the launch. So we're coming full circle the last couple of weeks. But, last week I had two wonderful investment moguls. They're 26 and 31 years old, and they are real estate investment moguls. And we had more views last week than we've had since we relaunched the show at the beginning of this year. So if y'all want to have Alexa and Zach back to talk about their real estate investments, let me know. Email me at drmonicahunter@gmail.com or visit my website at www.drmonicahunter.com. Let me know what you are thinking about getting them back on the show to talk about how you can build generational wealth. All right. So we're going to get right into our topic this week. And I'm going to just be honest. I'm being selfish. I am. So I wanted to talk about real estate investment because that's what I'm doing this year, a little bit more of. I want to talk about getting healthy because that's what I want to do this year, a little bit more of. And so this topic we're talking about, speaking up and getting healthy with Asia. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce her to the audience. She's going to tell us a little bit about herself and we're going to get this party started. Hey, sis.
Thanks, Monica, for having me on. Hey.
Absolutely. So how are you doing today?
I'm doing okay. I cannot complain.
Right. So tell the audience a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Asia Ford, and I started my journey 8 years ago at 507 pounds. And when I started my journey, I had a group of women around me who introduced me to working out, but not just introduced me, who were women who are actually able to uplift me and keep me going, even on those days that I couldn't fight for myself. So I like what you said as far as you and the Get Back Girls, because I also had to, I call it a community. I also had to have that community / foundation laid for me as well. So, I've been on this journey about 8 years, and I started the journey because my kid's father at the time, he had already been amputee, a double amputee, by the time he was in his mid 30s. And the second time he had his amputation, he also lost his kidneys and eyesight from the left eye. So that second time took more of a toll on his life because it almost claimed his life. He went into a coma when they amputated his arm, and when he went into that coma, the doctor came out and basically wanted me to make a decision as a mother in front of my small kids right then and there on amputating his arm in order to save his life. And that was the moment that I knew that if I didn't change at 507 pounds, then my kids would be left alone with that decision from me. So I decided to go on a life changing, um, I would say, journey that has lasted 8 years long now.
Yeah. So you were married at the time?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
I was married, 3 kids.
Oh, wow. Wow. Isn't
Yeah,
it crazy how sometimes we have these life circumstances that happen that change the trajectory of the rest of our life?
yeah, yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
because you've impacted so many people in the past 8 years because of a, I didn't know why you started your journey, but
yeah,
because of something that was so traumatic and the love that parents have for their children.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? It's so much easier to eat the cheeseburger. I'm talking about the
yeah.
foods that I like, and the pizza, and the chicken, and the fast
Yeah.
food, and all the things. Fried chicken, not grilled chicken. Fried chicken.
You
It's
know, I
easier just to do that. You know.
yeah. And it tastes good. When we were brought up. I know me personally, I was brought up with my grandmother and my mother cooking, the way that they knew, so it was like fried chicken was good. I wanted it. My grandmother had some recipes, macaroni and cheese. And now life for me, I have to figure out ways that I can actually still have it, but have it in a more healthier way. And I just there's certain things that I choose not to actually eat just because I know back in the day I was addicted to it. But
Mhm.
the reason that I got on this journey was the looks in my kids' eyes, not knowing whether or not we were going to bring their dad out.
Mm.
And even him walking out of the hospital not years but months later and going through rehab, I can remember just standing there thinking to myself, is it really worth it? Is it really worth me not seeing my kids' faces again? Is it really worth me putting that stress on them when I brought them into this world to take care of them? Is
Yeah.
my life worth them having to go through the hardships? Because that's what it is. I was in my early 20s, and stressed out. I actually had a stroke because I didn't
Oh,
know
wow.
which way to go. And so I'm just thankful for the longevity of my journey. In 2018, I gained 27 pounds because the same man that I fought for in the emergency room and promised that I would make a change in front of my kids decided that he was sick and tired of being sick and tired. And even though by then we had divorced, he still decided he was going to consult with me in regards to a surgery. And my husband at the time had 2 surgeries. He had the lap band that broke on him twice.
Oh, wow.
And I have, Monica, nothing to say bad about people wanting to get the surgeries. But in 2018, my kids and I were back in the same situation, but only this time the gastric bypass claimed the life of my kid's father. So he passed away in 2018, and just like that, I lost it. And I
Mm.
didn't care about the weight loss any longer. I didn't care about life any longer. I was trying to figure out what just happened. A surgery that was supposed to save his life killed him because we all thought that diabetes would be the reason. He had already lost so much from that. And so I stay on this journey not just now for my kids or myself, but I advocate for him because he is no
Yeah.
longer here to voice that. And I want people to know. And so I like the fact that you have speak up and speak out, when it comes to your show, because I want people to know now everybody wants it so easy. And forgive me because this is so dear to my heart. Everybody wants it easy, just like I don't have to meal prep today. I can just go to McDonald's and get my sandwich. But just understand what you're walking into before you walk into it. I truly feel like that could have been me. I wanted to
Yes.
have the surgery, but at the time, my husband and I, we both couldn't be down because we had kids to raise. And so, just unfortunately, and I say unfortunate because it was such a huge impact to our family to where he didn't deserve it. He
Yeah.
thought by turning to a doctor that this would save his life. And so we were faced with 2 weeks of him being in a coma because his
Mm.
mind wasn't ready for the change. And so
Oh,
often it's
yeah.
I feel like it's a medical thing. I love my doctors now, but I do truly feel like it's a medical thing. Going into the doctors now for a common cold and you sign off on the board, and at the bottom of that board you see, oh well, lap band, gastric bypass. These are things that you are throwing to people who, if they can't change their mindset on should I eat the fried chicken or a piece of baked chicken, then what makes you think overnight they can change their mind just because you decide you want to give them a surgery? And these
Right.
surgeries are claiming people's lives. It's changing their lives forever. And I feel like if you can lose weight to have the surgery, you can lose weight and keep it off. You just got to understand that you can mess up today. I mess up a
Mhm.
million times. In 8 years, I can't even count on two hands. But I still know that I'm worth it and I'm going to get up and I'm going to keep fighting for me. And with these surgeries, a lot of them are irreversible. And I cannot speak. I get so overexcited because I hate that my husband had to go through that. I hate that my kids are fatherless. It is so many people out here who are thinking that these surgeries are just life changing when unfortunately, if you don't know, they're life changing, all right, but not in the way you think it could be.
Mm. So tell the audience about what you did when you were 507 pounds. What was the first thing when you decided you're going to change your mind? What was the first thing you did to
I
change?
looked I looked at my daughter and I just was thinking to myself, this has got to be deep. One of my friends decided to turn me on to a boot camp, and I've carried the weight so long I need a knee replacement. So I was thinking to myself, boot camp, what does that entail? And so when the boot camp was out at Shavley Park, and I remember showing up, and there was women doing bear crawls, and you name it, they were doing it,
And you were
running across this
507 pounds.
507
Child,
pounds.
listen. Listen.
And I stood out there and I looked, but I knew that something had to be put in front of me for me to keep going. And I think
Mhm.
that's why it's so important for people to get wise. My kids, I had to carry them to every boot camp. You hear me? Because if I didn't see them, I probably wouldn't have came back. But I was able to start boot camp with a lot of pain after it was all said and done. And there was a lot of moments that I wanted to quit. But in my mind, I was like, these women are not going to see me quit. They're not going to see me give up.
And
So,
that's why I like group fitness classes, because if
yes,
I go to Planet Fitness, and I'm not knocking Planet Fitness at all,
yes,
but if I go to Planet Fitness, I'm by myself.
yes,
I can look at the treadmill or the elliptical or what the stairmaster. I see the time, and if I think I've been on there enough, I'm out of there. And
yes.
but if I'm in a class with other people, I can't be the one to quit.
They're holding you accountable. I mean, like,
Yeah,
you don't know that they're holding you accountable, but in your mind, you're thinking, oh, Lord, I ain't great. You know, that's like me in cycle class. Lord, it hurts my behind. But I'm like, the more and more I look at around me and I see these people, they may be doing it for different reasons, but I'm like, I don't want to be the one just pinpointing, just getting off my bike. And now I've done it so long. Now I'm standing up and I'm doing cycle. It's like the more you go, you're being held accountable. And not just that, you never know what you can actually master just going to a class. And that's one of the reasons why I stick with classes the way I do. The accountability is everything.
yeah. So when you went to your first
Mhm.
class, a lot of times if it's rough, people don't go back. Did you go
Yeah.
back?
I actually didn't. I didn't. The first the first time I went to boot camp, I did not. I was working third shift, and I was back and forth to the hospitals because the kid's dad was still in therapy.
Mhm.
So, one day I couldn't sleep. I kept hearing my phone ding, and on social media, when you like somebody's picture, then it was like anybody who makes a comment, it's coming because I had my notifications on. And I can remember waking up and I wanted to know what all of this noise was about. So I went on my phone because I was just new. I was fairly new to social media too. So I went on my phone. I'm like, wait a minute, there's a before and after picture on here. So I'm looking at the picture, and one of the women who actually were at the boot camp was at the boot camp. Her name was LaCondra, and I saw her before and after, and it was so inspiring that the whole way from me getting out of the bed, getting to brush my teeth, starting my shower, I looked at this and was thinking, what would happen if I stuck with this for a year? And she was in that boot camp. I didn't even know where her change was, but in my mind, seeing her picture, I wanted to know what that change felt like. So I went back. The very next day, I didn't go back. It took me 2 days. And then when I saw that picture, that's what pushed me back.
Girl, 2 days? Honey, I've been to a class and didn't go back to the gym. for 3 weeks. Okay, 2 days.
Yeah, I've had those too. Where I was like, nobody else is gonna see my face, cause, but yeah, I've had those moments too. And I tell you, I say it's just the push. You have to know that everybody is strong enough to push yourself. Like, God didn't create us for no reason. He created us with strength. And one of the things that I realize is, even if I can't do something, there's a modification for everything.
Yeah.
And small steps lead into big triumphs. So I anything that I start, I make sure that if I finish, it better be a serious reason why I'm finishing.
Yeah.
Well, the reason why I stop, it better be a serious reason why I'm stopping.
Yeah. So I am going to be honest. I told the audience when we first started that I needed to have this show for myself. I was being selfish. But yesterday, I'm a jokester. I joke all the
Mhm.
time. I think laughter is good for the soul, just like the
Yeah,
Bible says.
yeah.
And so last night, right before I went to bed, I posted something on Facebook.
Hmm.
I said that I was going to do the Daniel fast
Yeah.
for 21 minutes today. 21 minutes.
Bless your heart. Bless your
21
heart.
minutes. And so I had people, of course, because people that know me, they know I was joking, whatever. But then someone said, "I think I'll do it with you," and she was playing because she put the she clicked on the laughing emoji as well, and she
Uh-huh.
said, "What are we praying for?" And I was like, "Wait a minute, you know what? I think we do need to focus on something like in real life.
Yeah.
What would if I was really doing this? What would my prayer be?" And
Right.
so this is a time of new year, new me, all the things. People go hard for a couple of weeks and then they go back to normal. I don't want to go back to normal.
Yeah.
And so I posted, I wanted supernatural self discipline because I start something as far as my health is concerned,
Yeah.
but I don't stick with it. So either I'm eating
Hmm.
right and not exercising, or exercising and not eating right. I can't do the two. It seems as if I can't do the two.
Yeah.
So that's what I want to focus on, being able to do both of them at the same time. I haven't been to the gym for, I think it's been a month. I love like dance fitness classes and
Yeah.
such. And I go to the Y and there's a class called U Jam. And I am out of shape. But when I tell you, I get it. I look in that mirror and I do that
Mhm.
pump, pump. I mean, I do all the
Yeah.
things because what you're not going to do, young ladies, in the class with me, is
You're
show
not gonna
me up.
outdo me. Uh-huh.
You're not going to do that. And so I make sure that I give it my all. But that last class, I said, God, if you be real,
Yeah.
I need you to give me some strength because
For
I'm
real.
getting old and I'm more out. So how did you get the two to match? How did you get the eating right and the exercises? Because you are good. I mean, I've watched you for years and your meal prepping. I remember you one time I was like, she has a boiled egg and blueberries. Who wants to eat that? It's not a deviled egg. I want a deviled egg.
Yeah. So you know what, Monica, I would say trial and error because at first I felt like I was overthinking it. And honestly Googled meal plans. And so the first thing that started coming up was dietitians. And so that was the best thing for me because I needed to know how many calories I should eat. And it started becoming more complicated. I felt like I was in school. And so the first 6 months, I honestly did not lose. Gained, I believe it was like 5 or 7 pounds, somewhere in between. And I wasn't able to weigh in on the regular scale that everybody else could weigh in. So I had to go to the doctor. And the day I went to the doctor to find out what my weight was, because I had an exam, I decided that I was going to make my doctor's appointment the same day as my dietitian appointment. So my first time going to the dietitian, when I went, she just said, "You know what? I just want you to eat like normal, the same way that you've always eaten. I want you to eat like normal." And I was like, "Well, I can do that, but did I just waste my copay?" So uh, I didn't realize that the reason she wanted me to do that, she needed to know how she could help me. And the way that she could help me was that I had to continue to do my normal living. And so I probably visited before boot camp 2 to 3 restaurants a day. And that was because I was a working mom. I worked 2 jobs. I had kids. My kids were in football and cheerleading.
Yeah.
So I was on the go and there was no time for cooking. My on the go was, again, it's convenient. I can stop at any restaurant at my choice. And so when I came back from my next appointment, She sat down. She said, right off top, I can tell you what's wrong. I was consuming 45 to 4,800, almost 5,000 calories a day. And then she told me something that was very important that I never knew. 3,500 calories equals a pound. So while I'm doing boot camp and while the workouts are tough and I'm breaking a sweat, I may be subtracting 1,000 calories from a 5,000 calorie day. But again, 3,500 calories is a pound. So I'm still packing on weight and I'm
Oh,
beating down my body.
mercy.
Yes. So she made a plan for me because I was so used to eating so much and because I was so heavy. The plan scaled me back to 3,500 calories. And what I didn't realize is that if I thought about the meals instead of just trying to leave it up to someone else, that I could actually be full and still have calories left over. And
Hmm.
so it took me a couple of months to really realize that stuff that are not huge that would destroy my body, like the burgers and the fries from McDonald's or KFC chicken, I could go to vegetables, fill my half my plate with vegetables, bake a couple of pieces of chicken, and I'm not going to come anywhere near one meal that I would eat at McDonald's and still have over 3,000 calories left almost. So I
Hmm.
started eating like that just to see what the change would be like.
So
The
it was a
first,
mental shift.
yes, yes, and that's all it is. And I think a lot of people feel like I don't want to eat paper. I don't want to eat carrots for the rest of my life. And reality is now you have to do the research. So if you do the research and you start looking at what's out there, there are actually meals. You can actually season your meals to your taste. You're going to eat more for less. So me
Mhm.
packing more fiber, which means I have more vegetables, which is going to fill me up, and maybe having two pieces of chicken opposed to me going to KFC and eating one piece of chicken at 1,000 calories. I take that any day and still have
Right.
extra calories. So that
Right.
means people really don't understand that you can have cake, you can have ice cream, you can have whatever you want. Just make sure that you're putting your body in a calorie deficit. And so when you do that, then you're running into weight loss. And so once
Okay.
I seen my first 50 pounds, I was like, oh, I can live with this.
Come
So
on,
yeah.
50 pounds.
Yeah.
Your first
Yeah.
50
Yes.
pounds. So
Yes.
for 6 months, you did boot camp
Hmm.
and you gained 5 pounds,
Yeah.
but you didn't stop. Why
Exactly.
didn't you stop?
I didn't stop because remember in the beginning I said I have to have my why. So every day from that hospital,
Okay.
I kept my kids in front of me. There was times where my kids would be at the park, or my daughter was so little. The women at the boot camp, they would have my daughter. We're shifting her so that I can make sure she's in the view, and then also I'm still able to get my workout in. So I just had to keep them with
Mhm.
me because at the time they were my why.
So 6 months of working out,
Yeah,
2 months trying to get it right with
yeah,
eating. So we're
yeah,
8 months in.
yeah.
Had you lost any weight at that 8 month point?
The first 3 months, I honestly was probably almost at the 20 pound. I was actually in the works at that point because I had already saw my dietitian. I already got it, but didn't really get it. And at the time, it was like I was so used to restaurants fixing my food. Now I had to figure out how to do it on my own. So once I really got into Pinterest and YouTube, that's when I'd say about around around roughly about 8 to 9 months I was in it. It took me about the first 4 months before I actually seen a full 50 pounds loss.
Wow.
And they always say the heavier you are, once you get it, you got it, the more you lose. I can't stand on that as hard as I could even I can't even tell you how true that really is. Like I
Mhm.
started shedding weight one and the thing was I wasn't hungry. I mean, let's say for instance I think it was 13 months before I went to a full doctor's appointment where I was able to even see a change in I would say a shift in my blood pressure. At the time that I started boot camp, I was on two blood pressure pills and a cholesterol pill.
Oh, wow.
13 months after I started boot camp and really truly got into my eating, my doctor started seeing that my blood pressure was it was actually going down instead of up. So he said, if we keep it stable like this, the next appointment, I'll stop you on one of your pills. Within 2 years of me doing boot camp and eating right, I was off all blood pressure medication.
That is
So yeah,
amazing.
yeah. And 8 years
My
later,
thing is, you've kept this up. Like, I
Mhm.
remember, I don't know if you remember me at boot camp, but I was at a few boot camp
I'm
sessions too. And I gave up. I mean, I was good for a couple of weeks, even a month at some point,
Yeah.
but I would not keep up. But I didn't have a why. Like I didn't have something that I went back to, which is why affirmations are so important.
Yes.
Writing down goals, having a why next to your goals, and
Yeah.
a plan of action to go along with that.
Make it plain. Write it
That's
down, make it
vital.
plain.
Yeah, write the vision, make it plain.
Yeah.
We've got to know the why. So I need to shift that, because I did just start walking again this week. I ain't gonna lie, honey. I've not been walking for the past 5 months,
That's okay.
8 months,
That's okay.
13 months.
That's
And
okay.
I mean, when I walk to my friend goes like this. He puts his thumb over to the side, and I was going over there. But anyway, when I walk to Walgreens, it's about a mile and a half to get there and a mile and a half to get back. It's like 3 miles altogether. I'm getting older. My knees were hurting a little bit. And I was like, this is too much just to walk. But I know I've got to do it, because my why, I don't even have them yet. I talk about them every show. I'm sure I do. I've said it 5,000 times, but I've got to see my grandkids.
Yes. Yeah. And
Like
listen,
I want to see them. I love them so much. And I've already purchased a vehicle so I can put their car seats in my car. I have a space for them, playroom. I don't even have any. And I've got to get myself together for them. So I'm going to have to think about, and if anything ever happens to me, and y'all want to see me later on, grandchildren, watch this episode so you can see how much Nana loves you. Nana loves you so much.
that's
Nana
right.
loves
That's
you.
right.
If something happens to you before you're born, honey, Nana loves you. Anyway, that's besides the point.
Lord bless your child's heart, just speaking it all in existence. Look,
My
you
kids are
talking about
probably like,
grandkids?
Mom.
I'm thanking God my kids ain't had none yet. I'm sitting here telling them I'm too young. Don't do it. Don't do it. Shoot.
Well, girl, my kids are 27, 22, and 21.
Girl,
So I don't want
look
my
at you.
22 or 21. None of them need to have them right now.
Yeah.
But the 27-year-old, he's almost 30, for goodness sake. So he'll probably have one in a couple of years, and then I get my baby fixed. But I need to be able to play with them, travel with them, take them to Disney, do all the things with them that I couldn't do with my children.
Yeah.
So they're my why. If I need to think about them, because I love them so much, I need to think about them. I need to be here for them.
Yeah.
And so make sure that I get, not just walk down to Walgreens and walk back home, but I need to actually go to the gym. I did purchase a membership at the Y. I've been 3 times. I purchased it. And I even posted on Facebook. I said, y'all need to post. I mean, y'all need to go ahead and get your membership at the Y, because they have this prorated opportunity. They waive all this for you. It's $1. And
yeah,
3
water
times.
aerobics, all of that.
They have all the things. All the things. I just need to
something-
make sure that I go.
Yeah. And I think another important thing is that it's okay to have your why. That's very important, because your why is going to start you. Your why is going to keep you focused, and it's going to keep you motivated. But eventually you have to understand that there has to be a dramatic shift. And that shift has to no longer be about your kids, about your spouse. That shift has to be about you, because and I say for me, watching my kids lose their father slowly but surely, that was hard for not just my kids, but I had to hold up 3 kids. And so I lost myself while I was holding them up. Wow. And I remember sitting down in the bathroom, and it wasn't the breakdown that I had at the hospital. The breakdown came later, just sitting there realizing that I hadn't taken care of myself. I've lost all this weight. I've been able to get to doctor's appointments, get to hospital stays, be there for my kids, make sure I'm still able to get them back and forth. But when did I stop to take care of myself? It's not all about the gym. And so I think that why needs to be drastically shifted to you, because you matter too. The person or the situation becoming your why, that's okay. That's okay, because that's what's going to help you get to where you need to be, or help you start. But remember yourself. Yourself is very important. You need to understand that without you, none of what you're going to do is going to be possible.
And how many times have we as women put everybody else before us?
Before us, exactly.
And it's funny you said that, because I was just reading the other day, and it's no secret that Black women die of heart attacks more than any other demographics in this country.
Yeah.
And I believe that it's because we put everything else and everyone else
And we
before
do.
us. We get stressed out. We don't take care of ourselves, and then we leave
Yeah.
prematurely, or we
Yeah.
have heart attacks prematurely. So that is so true. I
Yeah.
need to be healthy for me, so I can be here
Yeah.
for them,
Yeah.
but healthy for me.
And
That is
taking it one day at a time, not overthinking it, and know that there's so many diets or whatever they call it out here. I call it just a shift. It's a lifestyle change at the end of the day. This is something that you have to know that you can deal with every day. But love yourself. Take out time. Know your numbers. Know what makes you smile. Know what don't make it a forceful issue when it comes to going to the gym or cooking something healthy for you. Enjoy it, because there's so many different meal plans. There's so many ways that you can cook your food. Like you said earlier, there's classes out here that can hold you accountable, that can be fun. Make it fun, but then also know that it's getting you to the next level. Level up.
level up, level
Yeah.
up. So you said at the beginning of the show you lost your first 50 pounds. How much have you
Mhm.
lost, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 313 pounds by the grace of God down. Yes, yes,
313 pounds.
yes, yes.
That's like almost three people.
Yeah, yeah. And
That
I
is
tell you,
insane.
people ask me, could you have saw yourself here? And you know what? Even though I saw LaCondra's picture and I just wanted to know what it felt like, I've always been a heavier person from childhood on up, and I just wanted to know what it felt like just not to have pain in the morning and wake up and
Mm.
hear my bones crack. So 50 pounds or 100 pounds would have made a huge difference. And it's times that I will stand in the mirror and just cry, thanking God that 313 pounds. Monica, I've done so much that I've never ever imagined. In July, I jumped out of a plane, and that was,
I'm glad you're here to tell the story.
oh my God. I'm telling. Listen, they on the website it tells you that you have to weigh. I think it's 235 pounds, and I was thinking to myself, I'm a candidate because I'm way under that, And I got excited. And at first, I was going to do it by myself. And my friends started saying that they were going to do it with me. And then once we got close, a few of my friends were like, I thought about that. And I'm just going to be the cheerleader from the ground. I'm like, okay.
I'll
And
hold your pocketbook. You go
exactly.
ahead, honey.
It's, but I was so excited because things that we take for granted that people really can't do, even if they try because of a disability or whatever the reason may be. I felt like all the way from riding a ride and being told that I was too heavy for the ride and I had to exit
Mm.
because they couldn't get the seatbelt on me. I've done that now. I never rode a horse. I've done that now. And so things that I feel like people that were able to do those things would today take for granted, that's something that I appreciate. And so that is another reason why I stay on my journey. My children are, they're young adults now. They are currently carrying weight because of, life issues, losing their dad and other things like that. And one of the things that I realized is that when I was younger, people thought, oh, well, she just ate her way to the top. And that's not it. You never know what a person's going through or what difficulties they're going through in life. And so for me, being able to show my kids that you're not denied of anything. This is just being delayed. You will get there. And I want you to enjoy it every step of the way. So for me, the tears that I shed on every little thing that I was never able to do, I just watch God and thank him for bringing me 180 degrees back around and allowing me to be the mother to the kids that I am a mother to, because I get to experience seeing their transformation. I get to share my transformation with them. And I also get to share it with the world. I feel like we all have a story, and to be able
Mhm.
to share mine, I just thank God for allowing me to be the vessel and still being able to live the life that I thought I lost out on.
So how do you feel now? How do you physically feel now in comparison to 313 pounds ago?
I'm not gonna lie to you, I wouldn't go back. I wouldn't go back. I feel 1,000% better than I've ever felt. It's not just about the outfits that I get to wear now, or
The
just I
crop tops,
remember.
'cause I've seen you
Yes, yes,
on social
yes.
yes, crop, yes,
I you know,
bikini.
I remind myself of one day my sister had an interview and she said, "Can you take me over here to Family Dollar so I can get this shirt real quick?" And I remember driving her and I'm thinking, what I wish I could go into a Family Dollar. I got to go to Big and Tall to get my shirt. And, just seeing her be able to spend $5 on the top. And so those are things that I used to think, oh, one day I'm going to be able to do that. I know I'm going to be able to do that. And so now I thought, okay, you're there. It's exciting. It's not about that anymore. It's just being able to walk from the porch to the car without being out of breath, or being
Mm,
able to go into the doctor, like I mentioned earlier. Instead of you diagnosing my weight, you are now checking out the reason why I had that cough. And so I wouldn't
wow,
change it
that's
for the
totally
world.
different.
Yeah, yeah, I wouldn't change it for the world. My test at the doctor's office is totally different. You can check my blood pressure and not say anything about, well, this is because you're heavy, or that's something that I've been used to. And so that's why I love the panel of doctors that I have now. I had to get rid of my old doctors, but I thank God for the doctors I have now, because now they see me instead of seeing my weight. And so that means something to me. That means that you're going to take out the time to really find out why I have this cough, why I have this earache,
Yeah,
and I've been experiencing and exposed to it all about my weight, so it I feel great. I feel great.
that is amazing. So
Thank
tell
you.
us about, what do you eat? What's a typical day of meal prepping, meal
So,
planning, eating?
so I'm just gonna give you the example of what I ate Sunday. Sunday, I thought about Salisbury steak, and I don't eat red meat. I haven't eaten in about 7 years, maybe six, and I decided that I was
Oh,
gonna
no
do it.
bacon, no
No
pepperoni.
bacon, no nothing. When I tell you that I went cold turkey to make sure that I stayed off of, I took 2 blood pressure pills and a cholesterol pill every single day, and I tell you, I felt nauseated from that medicine, and I was on it for years. And so when you get off of something that makes you feel really good, you don't want to go back. So I went cold turkey. My food was bland for years. And I was okay with that, because eventually I was able to come off both of my blood pressure pills,
That
no more
matters. Yeah.
cholesterol pills. I don't take anything except for a vitamin every day, and I'm okay with that. But I went on Pinterest. I saw a gravy recipe, and I thought, you know what? I may not do red meat, but let me try and see what turkey burger is like. So I did a Salisbury steak. I substituted the steak part for turkey burger. I diced my onions, my green peppers, sauteed those. I used my olive oil and vegan butter from the to add to my gravy. And I mean, everybody in the household was excited about it. I cut up some red potatoes, made them mashed red potatoes, and then we added mixed vegetables. So that for me is good, because I don't have to miss out on everything.
Did you
Um,
season it?
I seasoned it. I did.
Okay.
I use a lot of flavor guide, because everybody in the house doesn't eat like me. So I have to make sure that I'm not selfish, and that I understand that they're going to eat a different way. Now, before, everybody in the house had hot sauce bottles, and they were like, Mama, I went and got this salt. I know you don't eat it, but I just went in and bought me some from the grocery store. And that was okay. But eventually, I wanted to cook for everybody and not make them feel like we are all in the house, same house, but have to eat separate. So I just had to learn that I had to do more research so we all could eat the same way.
So Flavor God, is that
hmm
high in sodium
Um,
or
no, Flavor God is not high in sodium, and it's 0 calories, and it's about $6 a seasoning. But sometimes they do have specials. Certain Mrs. Dashes I would eat. I still use pepper. I like to use all of the powders, like garlic powder,
yeah.
onion powder. But I like to get a lot of my flavors from like red onions, the natural food sources. So a lot of mine come from like thyme or something like that. So if I can get it from the food, I'll try to get it from the food. If not, then I'll have to add that seasoning.
Okay, okay. I've seen a lot of commercials showing the different Flavor God
Yep.
seasonings.
Yep.
So I think I'll try it. I've
Yeah,
seen it
they
on
have a chicken and
Instagram.
waffle you definitely have to taste.
Okay.
That's my favorite. That is my favorite, but I like it because it doesn't have any calories. And one of the things that I look at, like I mentioned earlier, the calorie deficit is
Mhm.
I try to stay within my calories and make sure that I don't overdo it and then I don't go under because I work out a lot. Sometimes I may do 5 days a week and then some days I may do 6 days a week. So I want to make sure that I have enough calories so that I could sustain my energy and be able to get through the classes.
Uh-huh.
So sometimes even like with working out with Chris, I lift weights with Chris. So you have to eat a certain amount of carbs. And I'm learning even more with him, the new him, I'm going to say, because I actually started my boot camp with Chris and I just came back
Yes,
home.
that's where
So
I met you
yeah,
before the
yeah,
Get Back Girls. I met
yeah,
you there.
yeah. And so I came back home because I saw what Chris, how Chris has educated himself. This term, I would say for Chris, to me, um, I needed him during the season when I started because Chris wasn't like any other personal trainer. Prior to me even having any issues with my husband going through what he was going through, or even with my weight, I paid trainers at Gold's Gym and other gyms that those trainers really weren't interested in calling me and saying, "Hey, you're not here today." They were taking my money monthly, so it didn't really matter. That's how I looked at it. But with Chris, I needed him during that season because Chris reached out. Not only did he reach out, he wanted to know why you weren't here. So with that, I knew that he was concerned. When I failed, he would
Mhm.
have all the other females just, y'all keep going. I'm going to make sure I check on her. And that he did. And so he showed me that I'm here because I'm supposed to be here, but I'm going to fight for you, even though you feel like you can't fight for yourself. And some of his words at the time was, look, what you want to do. This is your journey, what you want to do. And it made me realize that not all people just want the dollar. Some people really want to help you. And at that time in my
Mm,
life, he was there to help me.
that is amazing. So you were
Yeah.
talking about your fitness, and
Yeah.
before we started the show, we were chatting a little bit. So I want you to tell the audience about your fitness regimen now and
Okay.
your new favorite
Okay.
workout.
Okay. So I lift weights with Chris Vaughn on Wednesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. And I
That's 4
usually
days a week
do,
that you lift. Do you
yes,
do any cardio with your
I
lifting,
do,
or is it strictly
I do
lifting?
cardio before and after, about 10 to 15 minutes before. And then Chris usually has me do the bulk of my cardio at the end. And then on Tuesday mornings at 6:30 a.m., box in the boxing ring with Coach Aaron Shekels, and I do that for about an hour. And Tuesday afternoons, I will attend. I attend Crunch Fitness, and I do cycle class. So, and that's about 5:30 to 6. My favorite, my favorite of them all. I love lifting because I know we have to lift, especially the older you get.
Yeah.
To prevent you from having broken bones and things if you fall, lifting weights is really good for us. But boxing, oh, it's everything. Y'all, I took a hit right here. Okay, I got a little black eye right there.
Oh, mercy.
Coach. Coach Aaron decided he was gonna go on and get in the ring with these gloves, and I'm thinking to myself, all right, okay, bring it on. Yeah, well, my adrenaline must have been going because I didn't even feel them socket, but hey, I'm gonna go back right Friday.
Oh, mercy.
So I would have to say, out of all the workouts that I do, my favorite is definitely boxing. I love boxing. As a matter of fact, I'm going to get in the ring just once. So, Coach Aaron, if you are seeing this just one time, I would like to know what it feels like to spar and do a real fight. So
So you're
it's
gonna
just
fight
yeah,
someone.
yeah. Like I'm going to get there, and
Like
I
you're
think
gonna
it's
fight
I,
someone.
Monica, I think it's just a bucket list and something as far as with boxing, me personally, I've had so much that I've endured in life and never had an outlet. And
Mm,
so working out was not always just about me losing weight. It was about me losing weight and being able to let it go and release. And so I held a lot of people on my shoulders, and I didn't have anybody to push off on. So the
yeah.
working out really helped me. And with Coach, it's like if I have a hard day at work, whatever the circumstance or situation may be right then and there, just to get in that ring and let it go. Yeah, I never know until you get there.
So I was a member of nine. I've done all the things.
Yeah.
I was a member of 9 rounds for a while. It's a 30
Hmm.
minute workout,
Hmm.
maybe 10 minutes for me. And I started last year. I got a new job and I was frustrated with some of the things that was happening. And the position, I'm a principal, so the position I have is pretty lonely.
Yeah.
And so I would take my frustration out on the punching bags, on, I don't know what
Mhm.
it's called, but the thing that you kick. Oh, that's a punching
Uh,
bag too, isn't it? But you just
yeah, yeah. Does it have the little boxing bag in the middle?
no, no, it's just the big giant bag, the big
Oh,
one.
okay. Yeah, they have those at Crunch too. Yeah.
Yeah. And I would just let my frustration out on that. And when I
Mhm.
tell you, I was drenched in
Yeah.
the 28 minutes of the workout. Like I
Yeah.
was drenched. There's a different level of cardio that
Hmm.
you hit with boxing. And
Coach
that
and
wasn't
I.
even boxing in the ring, that was
Hmm.
stations.
Yeah. And Coach Aaron and I talk about that. I can't tell you how many times we've talked about that. I started out with Coach's classes, and he has evening classes for women. And I started out and being in the ring and only being able to hit him twice during that time frame. I'm like, no, I got to do one on one. So I started asking Coach, when are you going to do one on one before he retired? So I remember he reached out to me. He was like, are you still interested in one on one? Yes. So, and I've been with him ever since. But prior to that, there was some other coaches that I did one on one boxing. But I tell you, getting inside of a ring and actually being able to put on those gloves, like you said, in 30 minutes, I never walk out of there ever, ever, ever dry. Never. Like I'm always soaked. I can remember a couple of times that I've actually went home and been able to take off my shirt and can wring it and watch the
Really?
water. Yes. And that's another reason why I always felt like, girl, if you ain't sweating, you ain't doing nothing. I
And I don't
always
like to
have
sweat. I
to.
have a couple of bees. I'm like, uh-oh, damsel down,
Yeah. And
damsel
you know
in
what?
distress.
You know, you know what? It used to be about my hair. I always felt like I can't mess up my hair, and another reason why I didn't want to work out. But my hairstylist can tell you, I will come in there on a Saturday, Sunday, be at the gym, and won't care because I know that I wore my style for the day, and it could even be the same day I'll wear my style, and I'm right in the gym the same day. It just depends on how I'm feeling that day and whether or not I want an extra workout, or if I didn't wake up on time to get my workout for the day, I'm definitely gonna get in it. I'm like, okay, you know what? I can be back in this seat next Saturday. But it
Hmm.
took me a long time to get there. Once you're
Yeah.
there, I'm telling you, you
Okay,
once you
I gotta
get
do it.
there,
I gotta take your advice. I have twists now. I got
yeah,
twists on purpose because I was wearing my hair. I said I need twists so I can work
mm-hmm,
out. I
yeah.
worked out once. I did go walking twice. Worked out once. I gotta do better. But
But
I'm
you
gonna
know
have
what?
to
The
take.
good thing is you acknowledge it, and I think that's the first part of it. Acknowledge where you need to be, and then work towards getting there.
Yeah.
I feel like that's where most of the "I quit, I can't do this" come from because I don't think people really set realistic goals a lot of times. And I was guilty of that for a long time. I saw my future 150 pounds. I'm going to lose 150 pounds when in reality, work with your first 10 pounds first. Once you
Hmm.
get there, then move on to your next step. So it's almost like me in those races. I have to like put my mind on a mile marker. Once I get
Right.
there, then I'm set for the next one. And I think that's what it is. Once people realize that you may not be able to do the kitchen and the workout at the same time. Find out where you want to start there, and
Okay.
slowly introduce yourself into the rest of the workout.
Your story is such an inspiration because, like I
Thank you.
said at one point in the conversation, I can work out or I can eat right.
Yeah.
It rarely gels, but it's okay if I can just master working out first or master eating right first,
Hmm. Yeah.
and then adding that,
Yeah.
accompanying what I'm doing well, instead
Yeah.
of just saying, okay, it didn't work. Let me just go ahead back to normal. This is easier anyway.
Hmm.
Putting me first,
Yeah.
my why, being
Yeah.
consistent,
Hmm.
um, having that accountability partner,
Yeah.
someone that I'm working out with or that we're working out with that can say, are you doing this for
Yeah.
keeps? Why are you here? Like Chris did with you. Why are
Hmm.
you here?
And
Are
then
you going to
once
get up? Are
you
you going to keep doing it?
Yeah, and once you get into that environment, you're gonna find that there's a lot of people like you. So you may meet somebody who doesn't have that workout partner, and just I can't tell you how many times I've actually, one of my friends will call me and they're like, do you want to go work out? And I was thinking to myself, if my phone don't ring, I'm just gonna snooze just a couple more times. But because they took the initiative to bring me along with them, I was able to get up. And sometimes that's all it takes is that accountability partner, because you just
Yeah.
never know who needs you or you need them.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I would definitely, those are my tips. And just one of my biggest things that I've realized since I've been on this journey, you're not like anybody else. So do what's best for you, and don't allow anybody else to put their fear on you. People will say all the time, well, you shouldn't do that, you shouldn't do this. And the thing is, if you allow that to stay stuck in your mind, you'll never get where you believe you can be. So don't listen to people, and I'm going to call it naysayers. Don't listen to them when they say, oh, you shouldn't do this or you won't make it, because that can eventually get you off your game. So
Yeah.
stay focused. Know that you want to put yourself around people who believe in you like you believe in yourself.
Right. Right. Well, do you have any final advice for the audience? You've already shared so much, but do you have any final advice for the audience?
My final advice would just be to, like I said, find your why. What purpose do you want? What's the reason that you want to get healthier? Whether it's just that you want to wear a wedding dress or you want to wear an outfit, whatever the reason may be, or even get your numbers right so that you can be here for the rest of your life. Find that why. Once you get there and you get started, slowly but surely walk into it. But most importantly, love yourself enough to know that you're worth this journey.
Yeah. Don't give up. Don't
Yeah,
give up, friends.
yeah,
I know this is the new year, new you season, new me season. Don't give up.
yeah.
After
Delayed, not
January,
denied.
February, because I'm running trying to make 100. 99 and a half just won't do it.
Look, I'm in the gym parking lot just in case y'all were wondering why she's in that car. So I decided to do half the workout before the interview, and I'm about to get in here and do the rest. So
She's
yeah,
an
like,
addict.
and don't make it about just the New Year's resolution, because the thing I love when I pull up in the parking lot, I love seeing all the cars that I do. And then March, I'm like, what happened to all of the cars? The parking lot was sold out. I want to see y'all. I want to see your car parked in front of mine. So yeah, yeah. Don't just make it about the New Year's resolution.
Yes, you're right. Has to be a lifetime change, a lifestyle change. We have to relax, relate, and
Yeah,
release, like Whitley said, on a
exactly.
different world.
Yeah.
We have to get it together. Well, I appreciate you for your
You're
time.
welcome. Thank
I
you.
appreciate you. And you should invite me to one of your boxing classes.
You know what? I will. I will. I will. And we're gonna go live so they can see Monica
Oh
Hunter in
my
the ring.
gosh.
As a matter of
Girl.
fact, Monica, every Tuesday and Friday morning, you just tell me when, and we'll have it set up for you.
Okay. Okay. I'll tell you when. I'm gonna go for real in real life. I'm gonna go for real.
Yeah, you remember when I was telling you about that accountability partner? I'm gonna go on, and Monica,
Yes.
today's Tuesday.
Do it. Do it, girl. I need
Okay,
some help.
I got you. I got you.
I need some help. So let me tell you real quick before I end the show. Yesterday, I went to my athletic director, or the assistant athletic director, and the athletic director actually,
Mhm.
and I said I was going to work out with the football team again because I did a couple of skill drills with them about a month and a half, 2 months
Uh-huh.
ago, and they're like, "No, ma'am, you can't work out with them anymore.
No,
Your pants are too tight." I said, "Oh."
mm-mm,
They said they didn't want
mm-mm.
me to be a distraction. Isn't that horrible? I was trying to be
Well,
there to support them, and the principal's there with the kids, and so I can't work out with the boys anymore. They don't want me to work out with the boys. I got to
see,
work
what
out
you're
with
gonna
the
have to
girls.
do is you're gonna have to show them. Just bring your gym bag. Show up with. Wait a minute, I got my jogging pants. I'll be right back.
Yes, yes. My long shirt, jogging
Yeah,
pants,
yeah. No distraction here.
put my
None.
hair up, wash off my makeup so I look like Kinky May, and go on. Something I have to do. I don't think they're gonna go for it. They're like, Dr. Hunter, get out of here.
You know what? And that's the thing I think about when it comes to Chris, because he was a football player. So I can't tell you how many times I've been outside and doing those workouts with Chris, and I'm like, you didn't forget we were women, right? But
Right.
I can't listen. Now I would call this the tomboy stage, because I can't wait to get in the ring. I can't wait to do a dirty workout. I can't wait to just get messed up. And
Yeah.
people's like, I can't hang with you. But when you learn to love it, you don't care what you got to do. You're going to get the work done.
Yeah. I love it. Well, I thank you for your time. I'm gonna go
Thank
ahead and
you.
end the show. So I'm gonna take you off the screen and I'm
Okay.
gonna address the audience, and then we'll get back together later on. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. See you later.
Enjoy your workout.
All right. Now I'm going to hit you up on Tuesday.
Do it, girl. Do it. Do it, girl. Get it, get it, get it, girl. Get it, girl.
That's
Have
6
a good one.
a.m. now, Monica. 6 a.m. before school.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So
Do
tell
they
the
have
kids the
showers
principal is
there?
going to be a little late.
Do they have
You know
showers?
what? They do. A whole bathroom setup. There is no
Mercy.
excuse. There is no excuse.
Okay, girl. I'll do it. I promise I'll do it.
Okay, look, we're going to have to discuss what Tuesday.
Yes, we will.
We're
We
going to
will. I'll put it on
definitely
my
do that.
calendar. I'll go. I will. I promise.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Y'all
Have a
heard it
good one.
live. Y'all heard it. She said she
I
promised.
said it.
Okay.
And I meant it when I said it. I'll be there. And we're going to go live so they can see me.
Exactly. So there's no shade because Monica's going to be there on Tuesday.
I am. I am.
All right. See you later.
All right. Thank you. All right. Was that not amazing? Can y'all believe that she lost 313 pounds? And if you're not friends with her, you've got to find her on Facebook because she does not look like what she's been through at all. I admire her, and sometimes when she's on Facebook and she has her crop tops on, or her leggings and her workout gear on, I'm like, man, she is doing the dang thing, and she looks amazing, and she feels even better than she looks, clearly. So we've got to take her advice. We can't just do this at the beginning of the year. We've got to do this all year. We've got to be consistent. We've got to know our why. We've got to take the baby steps, and then we've got to leap. We've got to leap with health and wellness, fitness, all the things, because we're worth it. Our children are worth it. Our grandchildren are worth it. Nana loves you so much. Even though you're not here, I love you to pieces. But I'm worth it. You're worth it. And we've got to be here so we have longevity. Okay. So we're going to be healthy. We're going to be great. We're going to be excellent. We're going to do this thing together. So I want you all to love each other. If you want to connect with me, go to my website, drmonicahunter.com. You can join or subscribe to my podcast, my informational site, get a newsletter, all the things. If you go to that website, if you want me to come to speak to your church, your school, your community center about whatever, mainly education, community involvement, social justice, anything like that, I'm there for you. If you want to purchase my book, go to Amazon.com, Daughter in the Shadows by Dr. Monica Hunter. You can also go to BarnesandNoble.com. Go to my website, get my book as well. But I want you to be healed and whole in everything that you do. I want you to be great, excellent, all the things, because you are magnificent all by yourself. No matter what anyone has said to you, no matter what's been spoken over your life, you know who you are because God created you and you're his child. And as long as he loves you, as long as he cares for you, as long as there's breath in your body, you can be who he designed you to be. All right. I want y'all to have a great rest of your day and love on each other all the time. All the time. I'm Dr. Monica Hunter, signing off.